Yo, what's going on, YouTube? It's your boy CASHOUTJD, man. We back in the trap. You know what I'm saying? How y'all doing, man? Second video of the day. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we got this video called "This TikTok Prank Just Ended His Life." Now, it's a let me see who this YouTuber is. Haters. Yeah. Y'all see it. But if we finna watch this video, I never watched this video, so we finna watch this video. Bro, this is just crazy because, like, bro, a lot of these TikTok people be doing like crazy dumbass pranks. Like and it's not even a prank. That's not it. Don't even be real pranks, bro. Like pranks is supposed to be harmless, bro. They be nothing but stupid. Like people think their lives in danger, or people just you just messing with people. You don't know what type of day these niggas is having, and you just going around public fucking with them. They gonna do some dumb shit to you because you doing dumb shit to them. I hope y'all not out there doing dumb shit like that, bro. To the niggas who be doing stupid shit, pranks, fucking with other people. Like, if it's funny, it's funny. Like, harmless, funny shit. But if y'all doing dumb shit to people, bro, just stop that. Bro, find some different content to do, bro. Real shit.
This TikToker just lost his life during a TikTok prank, and it's all from an old trend that everyone did growing up that has been slightly altered for TikTok in a more reckless way. So, what happened? Well, this man shot an 18-year-old over a ding-dong ditch video, and it's way more than just another viral trend going wrong. This is one of those times that I'm having to report on something that's already gone too far and can't be taken back. So, fair warning, this isn't the most fun video.
Tonight, an arrest for murder in Virginia after teens tell authorities an age-old childhood prank, the ding-dong ditch, turned deadly. A high school senior shot to death while doing the stunt, his friends say, for a TikTok video. Now the homeowner, Tyler Chase Butler, arrested and accused of second-degree murder.
So let's set the scene. It's 3 a.m. in Spotsylvania County, Virginia.
It's what?
Accused of second-degree murder.
So let's set the scene. It's 3 a.m. in Spotsylvania County, Virginia. A group of high schoolers are out filming a prank for TikTok, the kind your parents probably called harmless mischief, and the internet calls, I guess, a ding-dong ditch prank. And we all know how this prank goes. It's older than the internet. You knock on someone's door, run off, and the trend part involves, I guess, getting the footage and posting it for clout. What could go wrong, right? Well, apparently, everything. Everything went wrong. 18-year-old Michael Bosworth Jr., a high school senior, had no idea this would be the last video he'd ever film.
Well, yeah, that's another crazy part too, bro. Because he thought he was just having fun with his homies, and bro. But see, shit like this, like you kicking it, bro. Like you realize people get their doors kicked in for real. You see what I'm saying? Y'all kicking in this nigga's door. I would have shot you too. I would have shot you too, bro. Soon as that bitch would have kicked open, bow, bow. You would have got hit with some lead. Not lying. That's why, like, I feel bad because he was doing a prank that he thought it was harmless. Even like it technically is, but it isn't. You know what I'm saying? Because you still destruction of property because you're kicking in the door. You're gonna break the damn door, or like whatever.
Yeah, we just waiting to get shot. Okay, yeah, pretty much.
Look, he said it. We just waiting to get shot. Why the fuck y'all still do it? Niggas do anything for fucking views. God damn.
Anything for the content. Anything for the content.
So he
niggas literally, and they admitted too. That shit crazy.
He was out with two friends at 3 in the morning. They hit a few houses in the neighborhood. Then they reached this home of a 27-year-old Tyler Chase Butler. Butler didn't just call the cops. He opened fire. According to the police, Bosworth was shot in the torso and later passed away in Washington Hospital. One friend was grazed by a bullet, and the last one got away. Butler was arrested days later and charged with second-degree murder, malicious wounding, then finally 2 counts of using a firearm and commission of a felony. No bond. He's currently sitting in Rappahannock Regional Jail right now. So
okay, so that other video wasn't them kicking his shit. So what is the video them kicking his door?
Overall, this is probably the worst possible way this prank could have gone. And look, I talk about how wrong pranks and this content can go here on this channel, but this one went beyond most of the videos I cover. Because at the end of the day, a high school senior is gone, a man's in jail, and the rest of us are now asking, was this a tragic misunderstanding or a predictable result of viral stupidity? Well, let's walk through what happened.
Bro, the stupidity.
This wasn't just ringing doorbells. Witnesses
That's what I'm saying. It's not just ding-dong ditching. It's you knock on the door, knocking on the door or ringing the doorbell, and then like you ring the doorbell, and then you run. Y'all kick it in the. I ain't lying. Niggas did this back in the day. I'm not finna act like we didn't kick the door, but we could have got smoked kicking the door. Like, bro.
Were kicking and banging on the door. loud, aggressive, almost like they were trying to break in. And that's exactly what I was talking about earlier with the—
That's what I'm saying. I don't think bro should just be a misunderstanding. Yeah, his life was taken, but you got to see the nature of the shit that happened. They kicking this nigga's door. He could be thinking somebody's breaking in and he shot him. How do I get it? What?
Version of the ding dong ditch prank that's turned into a reckless TikTok trend. Here's myself from the past explaining this. It's called the TikTok door kick challenge. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's kind of like ding dong ditching, as many of us grew up doing, unfortunately, except they got creative and they added some property damage into the mix, because why not? So it is what it is, I guess. After it gets dark, you run full—
and in certain places, stand your ground. You can protect your property, bro. Your property's getting kicked in and broken into. Do what you got to do. They'll tell you gun him down.
From the street at someone's door and jump kick it. So not only are you damaging the door and the frame, but also waking and scaring the crap out of the people inside. Then on top of that, this is also happening in the US. And because of our Second Amendment, this can quickly become quite the extreme sport for the person doing this challenge. And you don't only have to worry about a potentially armed homeowner, but also the police, because obviously this is illegal. But that's not stopping this trend from being so big and viral that these pranks are now happening all over the US. And depending on what state you're based in, the range of your penalties can really vary here, because some people are getting hit with like a basic criminal mischief charge, and others with breaking and entering, because surprise, surprise, if you kick in someone's door at night, that's a charge. So let's play some of these clips, because it's ridiculous. Yeah.
Now, I ain't gonna lie. If I see them running away, I'm not gonna shoot. First of all, because I'm definitely gonna get in trouble. And second of all, I just, they just bullshit.
The frame didn't like that one. Okay, so according to the witnesses, that happened. And I unfortunately hinted here on my past video on how this could be a fatal challenge. Unfortunately for the guys who did it, it was. The homeowner didn't think it was funny. He thought it was a robbery. So he did what most people would do here in the US if they thought their house was being broken into. Grab a firearm.
The Spotsylvania County Sheriff's Office—
how was he getting charged for this?
3 a.m. Saturday morning when they got a call for a burglary in progress where shots were fired. Deputies found 2 people with gunshot wounds on the scene. 18-year-old Michael Bosworth Jr. was transported to a local hospital where he died just hours before his high school prom.
It was
so
prom
Michael
that day.
Was hit in the torso. He later died in Mary Washington Hospital. Another teen was grazed and a third got away physically unharmed, but probably scarred for life. And this all happened hours before Bosworth's senior prom. His girlfriend wore his pink bow tie to the dance. That's not something anyone should ever have to do. And like I said, Butler's now sitting in jail.
Like I said, even though it was a stupid prank this kid did, he didn't have to die. It is RIP. I forgot his name already. I'm fried. Don't blame me. But RIP this man. His girlfriend didn't have to go through that. That's wow.
For these charges to process. Overall, it's just an awful situation for everyone involved. Now, you might be asking, isn't Virginia a stand your ground state? Well, not quite. Virginia doesn't have a codified stand your ground law, but it does recognize something similar through what's called a castle doctrine. Basically, if someone breaks into your house and you have reasonable fear for your life, you can stand your ground. And essentially,
man, if somebody breaks into my house, that's the fear for my life right there. It's not you break into my house and then you do something to fear. No, nigga, you're not finna break into my house to have a cup of tea, nigga. To play the game, to smoke some shit. You're not finna break into my house to do that shit. You're finna break into my house to steal, kill, rob, whatever. The fuck?
Eliminate the target. But the key here is you have to have a reasonable fear. But, and that is a big but, that legal protection gets really fuzzy if the threat is outside your home or if the person is retreating when you shoot. Because if Butler fired through the door or after they started running away, that might explain the second-degree charge. So let's break down the charges here. First, the second-degree murder charge here. The penalty in Virginia can be anywhere from 5 to 40 years in prison, which, that's a terribly wide range. He also has a malicious wounding charge, which has a potential of 5 to 20 years in prison. And that one also has a mandatory minimum of 5 years in prison if a weapon was used. And finally, he has 2 counts of using a firearm in the commission of a felony. For a first-time offender, that's a 3-year mandatory minimum. And because Butler is charged with 2 counts, that's a minimum of 8 years just for the gun charges. And that has to be served back to back in addition to the sentences for the other felonies. So the total potential sentence here, if convicted on all counts, is a minimum of likely around 13 years and a maximum of 65 plus years, which is just, it's insane. That is a hell of a way to ruin your life in 2 seconds for both the shooter who might spend life in prison and the kid who lost his. Of course, final sentencing would really depend on plea deals, whether charges are dropped, the trial outcome, and how the judge chooses to
I feel like some charges are going to get dropped.
The sentences. And some people are probably saying, good, well, he ended the life of a kid. Or, well, 18-year-old. But a lot of the internet are actually defending the shooter because he very well might have thought he was being.
That's what I'm saying. It's a thing where it's a lose-lose, bro. You like, it's a kid. He was doing the stupid thing like we all do. We all play ding dong ditch, and I ain't gonna lie, we all done kicked the nigga door by doing ding dong ditch. We all done did it. We done knocked on it, but we didn't kick that motherfucker too.
Robbed. Like, if you're jolted up at 3 a.m. by a loud
shit, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I got a ding dong ditch story actually, bro. Nigga, me and my homies almost got smoked for doing this shit, bro. But I ain't gonna lie, we wasn't kicking. We threw rocks at this nigga shit. We threw rocks at this nigga shit. And he saw it in the camera. We was still in the neighborhood doing other houses, bro. That nigga drove up on us. He said, if y'all was the little kids, I would have did that to y'all. Bro, you would get smoked doing this shit, bro. I'm not lying. I call my niggas up and they could verify. I'm not lying.
Front door, you're most likely acting in a daze of flight or flight, and you're not fully awake yet. And then you just have all these like unknown details, like what if he had a few drinks before going to bed, was woken up in a jolt? Like there's so much that could be there. But again, as I said, we don't have the full details. Obviously, there's a big difference in firing at your front door thinking you're being broken into versus running after and firing on the people who are already fleeing. We just don't know what happened. Either way, it's just
that's what I'm saying. Like, what are the shit saying? Like the autopsy, like where he get hit from, how they get hit, like, you know, the angling and shit, so we can know where he shot him from.
Story of a viral prank and an absolute tragedy. And it's frustrating to see this because I've already covered this trend 6 months ago, where I even said this is going to end horribly wrong, and it did. No matter who's at fault here, you don't kick people's doors in at 3 a.m. Actually, you don't kick people's doors in at all. Like, don't do this trend. It is absolutely not worth the upside.
It's stupid.
Ding dong ditching apparently just isn't what it used to be. It's not a giggling sprint down the driveway anymore. It's a forceful of drop kicks to the door at 3 a.m. in a country where, you know, being allowed to shoot someone at your door is on a state-by-state basis. This is not a prank. This is how you cut your life short. But unfortunately, I mean, this trend isn't going anywhere because there's more and more of these clips on TikTok going viral.
Of course it is. And unfortunately, like it's gonna be more bodies from this trend. More people are gonna die from this trend, bro. Unfortunately. But anything for clout, right? See, that was some weak shit. That's the type of weak, harmless shit you can do. I ain't gonna lie. They did that so weak. They was so weak. They should at least like knock on the door, because everybody got Ring cameras now so they can see. So they're just not gonna, you know.
Trying to be sensitive to this because this is an awful tragedy. It really is. But I'm shocked someone hasn't been shot from this before now. Because look, Michael Boswell Jr., he wasn't a hardened criminal. He was a 3-sport athlete, lacrosse, football, wrestling, he just did it. A senior at Massaponax High School with his whole life ahead of him. His girlfriend of 3 years wore his bow tie to prom. His classmates held
girlfriend of 3 years. This nigga been with her since what, freshman year? Shit.
The Virgil, the entire community is in mourning. But no amount of tragedy erases the reality of what him and his friends did was dangerous. It was reckless. That was a stupid decision that cut his life short. So now we're kind of left in this gray zone, legally and morally. Was Butler's fear justified? If so, the charges may not hold. If not, his life is over, basically.
I don't think the charges should hold because this teen did some dumb shit. I was in fear for my life. I thought my house was going to be broken in. And then they kicked my door and I shot him. That's if the door got kicked in. If he just kicked the door and they ran and he ran outside, smoked them, then no, he deserves to go in jail. I'm gonna make that very clear. If he did that, he deserves to go in jail. But if they actually kicked this shit in, like the door flew open type shit, nah, man, I ain't gonna lie. It's somewhat justified, bro. And it sucks to say. Like I said, it is that gray area, but it's somewhat justified. They actually kicked this shit in. That's, like they said, breaking and entering. Well, they ain't enter, but they broke into my shit.
we're already fleeing, and if the shooting happened through the door, then we might be looking at a case of excessive force. But also, even if you shot through the door, I mean, there's still room for an argument there, even though that is a terrible judgment. But I mean, it's just such a shitty situation because who is operating at a logical state being jolted up at 3 a.m? So yeah, either way, before you rush to a judgment on either side,
being woken up to somebody kicking at your fucking door, like you don't know what the fuck happened.
This is a messy, tragic mix of bad judgment and viral clout chasing. I mean, it should be obvious by now, but please don't jump kick people's doors. We've seen pranksters get punched, arrested, and even shot at before, but now another one has passed away, and this probably won't be the last. Unfortunately, it's sad. This is a tragedy. I guess internet culture has just blurred the line between a joke and a threat, and how consequences of crossing that line are now becoming more and more serious. So, I mean, overall, if you're a teen thinking about trying this kind of thing, please don't. If you're a homeowner, you better know the law before you pull that trigger.
That is true. Like, I'll wait till you get in my crib. I want you to be in my crib to smoke you. I know the gray areas. I'm waiting you in my crib, then I'm smoking you. But you know, start doing that, nigga, you still might get popped, nigga. Don't think you just come outside my shit and just do whatever. Nah, I'm bullshit. But anyway, no, I'm not. I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down below in the comments, bro. It's wild. Shit, I'm gonna do one more video for y'all boys today. Maybe one more, 2 more. Shit. Y'all see me when y'all see me. You know what I'm saying? I'll get at y'all next video. Peace.